the One Love movie is going to be good only if you have context. If you have context, it's going to work for you. If you don't have context, it's going to be real confusing. So I did not jump on the bandwagon. When it first came out, I was already knee deep in the process of doing my research, okay? I've watched Bob Marley videos over the years because I'm not new to reggae music. I'm not new to Rasta. I'm not new to any of those things. So along the way, you may brush up here and there, you hear something new. But in recent times, I was like, let me go back and listen to a few things. Catch a Fire, uh, his mother's book, No Woman, No Cry. I listened to all of these things. And then I said, when I was done, I made a few videos. So check those out. And then I said, you know what? Now I'm ready to go see the movie. I'm fresh out the movie theater, y'all. So I went to the movie and I'm sitting there and I heard all the negative reviews all over the internet. That what this, me no know what this, me want about my money. Rate and they accept them a trash me no and Rotten Tomatoes and everybody and everything else, right? People are complaining, oh, mush up the place. And I'm like, okay, let me just wipe that all out of my mind. Let me not follow friend and company. Let me go and watch it for myself. I found that it was fast paced, as many people are saying, in some areas. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. How did they run past Cindy that fast? Y'all saying Cindy ain't in there. She's in there. Remember when Bob, spoiler alert, he was in England, right? After he ran away from Jamaica after the whole situation, and he was in the phone booth talking to Rita, and there was a lady outside looking kind of impatient. I think that was Cindy. I think that was her. And another time, in like a blink, it was a real quick flash. She had on the sash that said Miss World. That was her too. So she was there. She got like a quick cameo. But anywho, so I'm gonna decode it a little bit for you, and I'm hopefully not gonna take too much time. First thing, I heard somebody saying, "What is up with the horse? What is up with the person on the horse? Who is the person? Why does he keep running? Why do they keep flashing back?" Based on what I'm able to ascertain, right? Uh, there are a little artistic vision going on with the horse. His father was known. The only known picture of the father is him riding a horse. Um, and so they incorporated in that because somewhere along the line, his father is not in his life, and that left a void for him. Okay. And so because that's the only known picture that they have of him, they have at first I thought it was his father on the horse till the end. And if you don't know, at the end, that was supposed to be Selassie on the horse. Haile Selassie, Emperor of Ethiopia. That's supposed to be him on the horse, embracing him as a son of Rastafari. Because again, he's looking for this acceptance. He's looking because early on in his life he was rejected because he was half white and half black, and in some Rasta camps he was also rejected. And so when he goes around 12 tribe, because Rasta camps are split into different Baba Shanti, Naya Bingi, 12 tribe, right? So he goes around 12 tribe, which is what I'm most familiar with because that's what my parents, when I was young, they were in 12 tribe, right? So he goes into this and it's a whole one love Jara stuff, all right, kind of vibration. And so at the end, that's Selassie on the horse telling the young Bob to come in, he's his son. Okay, so we decoded that. The next thing that who is the person? The person they didn't want to too much talk about. They zip by. I mean, if you blink, if you look at your cell phone, it's gonna be over. In the beginning, when he's walking to the bus stop, and there's an old man. I literally just did a video on his grandfather, Omaria Malcolm. I am asserting, and Steve Marley, not Steve, who do this? Ziggy, if I'm wrong, let me know. Is that the grandfather? Because grandfather is not a church going man, but he is a one that reads his Bible. And so the grandfather is giving him the Bible, and this is kind of what's supposed to be carrying him through. That Bob, likewise, is not a church going man, but he's a spiritual man, and he's depending on his relationship with the Bible to get him through tough times, right? And so that is decoded. That's the grandfather. He's getting on the bus. Now, this is the only part that I'm like, wait a minute, is this artistic license? Because according to the mother, Sadella, she's gone now, so rest her. According to her narrative, when Bob is a little older, he's not so young when she goes to Kingston. She goes to Kingston when he's a little older, and by this time his father's not alive. Furthermore, they made it like his father was there and she was asking the father to take him, and then the father was like, no, Mufraya. And so then the father like gallops away on the horse. But according to the narrative, the father, when he was younger, asked to take him to send him off to school. And when she finally agreed, like he was kind of like child kidnapped for a few months or years, depending on who's telling the narrative. She goes back to Kingston and get him. Later on, they go back to Kingston, by which time the father is almost dead because he dies in 1957. So Bob sees him one more time when he's 10 years old. That would mean he saw him in 1955. And this man is like 70. So I don't think he's galloping on a horse at 70 years old away from the scene. That's the only thing that had me like, huh? But okay, nonetheless, that's who's on the horse. Two people are on the horse. Bob Marley's actual father. That's why when he's sitting in his younger self with Rita in the room and he says, this is the only picture I have of him, and the man is on the horse, that's Norval Marley. That's his father who gallops out of his life. And then Selassie, who's now the stand-in father, who's going to embrace him into Rastafari. Let's see what else. Let me see what else needed to. I heard some complaints about. So it's moving very quickly because a lot of stuff happened in his life in a very short period of time. Like a lot of things that were not necessarily planned. And if you think it's jumbled now, how much more jumbled would it be if you threw everybody in there? So they did mention Bonnie and Peter, the earlier Whalers, and they did show when they went to Cox and Dodd's studio, they did show a younger version of when they were saying Simmer Down, Simmer Down. When they were singing Simmer Down, they showed a younger version of Bunny and Peter and the earlier Whalers. Um, anything else? What else needs to be decoded? I think overall the movie, I enjoyed it. I didn't cringe as much at the accents. They worked really hard. They even had certain of the mannerisms. Then I was like, y'all were really studying. Because when Rita was in the street, I think they were in Paris, and Bob was like, what do they expect me for do? Oh, I'm come up in a one corner and the one Bunny and Peter. And then and then the way she do her thing like this, me said, oh, she been practicing. She been practicing. But I think they said she has Jamaican parents. So, anything else? And then they peppered actual Jamaicans in there. You could hear it. So what that did was for the whole cast as a whole, it kind of make it look so bad. You understand me? I say because it kind of make one feed off of the other one, and together it did work for me. I've heard some accents like that makes you want to like cringe, but this one I would have give them about a 92%, 92.5%. Some parts you could hear that he was really, really practicing. And some parts is like he looked tired that day. But overall, they did a good job. Oh, they did make reference to why he may feel like he got this disease. And Rita Sedella speaks about this in the book, that they're looking at the father that he didn't know as the reason why he has this trait for cancer that's a rare cancer for mostly Europeans. And so you see him grappling with that. I think overall, for what it's worth, you have to grade something on what it is. It's not a documentary. It's not the autobiography of Malcolm X. It's not I love that movie. Malcolm X. What? It's not the Malcolm X. It's not a miniseries. It's a short period of time that you have to say, now what am I going to focus in? And how am I going to tie it all back together? And so I think that was the difficulty in this, without, like, some people wanted them to go into the drama. If you want drama, just read them two books here. If you want the nitty and the gritty, and then, Cindy, they're about to play, and certain people they're about to play, so ask them. If you want more drama, there's also Catch a Fire that I'm listening to the Audible. I remember my mother had that book since it first came out, right? And I remember seeing it all the time. So with that said, you would enjoy this movie if you have a little bit of context. Hopefully I gave you a little bit of context. Once again, like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was. And I'm not going to give it such a bad grade as many people out here giving it, because I didn't have those expectations. I guess because I ate before I left the house. Me never got it hungry. You understand me? I said, me never bring my belly come my road. You understand? I was already filled off of this. Y'all want to see? Y'all watch out for more videos. You see how I got this thing highlighted? I got this thing marked up because, Mada Sadella. Hey, I've said these. Madabuka. She have said some things, oh. She have said some things. So stay tuned for that. My name is Amuna. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy yourself.